these black people. They published an interview with Mr. Cosby in which he continues to profess his innocence. The former Cosby Show star is currently serving a 3 to 10 year sentence at a maximum security prison outside Philadelphia for the 2004 sexual assault of Temple University employee Andrea Constand. And I don't know if y'all saw her Adam's apple, but her name should probably be Andrew. She looks like an Andrew, but we're going to call her Andrea, or the lady who got $3.5 million for getting her boob grabbed, allegedly, claiming no proof. No proof. Proof matters. Proof matters. Let's keep that in mind. Here we go. Cosby told the NMPA that he believes he'll serve his full sentence. Check this out. This man's in his 80s. 80s. He said he believes he's going to serve his full sentence because he will not admit guilt or remorse, which is a prerequisite for early release. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? Did y'all just hear this? This man in his 80s, what year was Mr. Cosby born? He was born, let me see, let me Wikipedia him. Hit the thumbs up button, please. Let me see here. Bill Cosby is 82 years old. How many of y'all at 82 years old can imagine facing 3 to 10 years in prison and still remaining defiant and saying, you know what, I'm just going to have to do all my time. I'm going to have to hang in there till I'm 93. That takes courage. I don't know a lot of people who could do that, honestly. And we know how this system's built. The system is kind of a screwed up system in that even if you're innocent, the only way you get out early is if you lie and say that you're guilty. And we know how many black men have gone to prison and died in prison for things they did not do. We know that this has happened. This is documented. This is not my speculation. This is not my theory. This is not a conspiracy I'm making up. I didn't pull this out of my ass. This is true. This has happened. We know this is the case. It's statistically proven that it's happened thousands and thousands and thousands of times. In fact, shout out to Kim and Kanye. I know Kanye's acting a little crazy right now, but shout out to the Kanye Kardashian family. Kim's got 17 people out of prison in the last, I think, 20 weeks or something. That's pretty cool, but it's like, I was reading, I was like, okay, yeah, but that's like 17 down, 10,000, 20,000 to go. I'm kind of tired of these one-offs in terms of justice. The one-offs don't mean a whole lot. They're just symbolic, right? And I'm trying to figure out when we're going to get past the symbolism and realize that we actually have a problem. It's like if you have 30,000 roaches in your closet and you're like, I stamped out 1 roach, I stamped out 2 roaches, I stamped out 8 roaches last night. But yeah, you stamped out 8, but you have 30,000 roaches in your closet. You need to go in there and you need to fumigate that motherfucker, right? You need to fumigate the whole damn house, right? And that's what we haven't done. The system is funky. The system is toxic. The system is racist. The system is disease. This has been proven. At what point are we going to fumigate the system and release all the hundreds or even thousands of people who were either falsely charged, overcharged, or should not be in prison anyway? They're in prison right now being beaten, raped, stabbed, traumatized, and nobody out here gives a damn because nobody talks about it because it's happening to black people, mostly black men, and we know that black men lie at the bottom of the totem pole in terms of who they actually care about. So let me keep reading more about what Cosby said, and I'm going to tell you why I admire his defiance, despite the fact that I cannot say I unconditionally admire Cosby. In fact, if you went back 12 years, I kind of thought Cosby was an asshole. I really did. And I still see that in him. I felt like he was a little bit cocky. He reminded me of a lot of celebrities who go to Hollywood and they start getting around those white folks and they start really thinking they're not black anymore. They start thinking that they can sort of, look down on other black people. And I felt that some of Cosby's language reflected that. In fact, all those Beckys running in and out of his hotel room, I think that he needs to understand. I think your sons need to understand this too. You're putting yourself in the danger zone when you're doing that. You're literally putting yourself in a situation where that person can come out and tell any story and you're going down, you're going to prison. And also, if you think that I don't believe Cosby ever did anything wrong, the answer is no. I do believe that he probably did something maybe in the 60s, maybe in the 70s, or even the 80s. But the thing is, in this justice system, you're supposed to have this thing called proof. You're supposed to have this thing called proof. And I don't give a shit if you get mad at me for saying this. You're supposed to have this thing called proof. And when you got a bunch of drug addicts and people desperate for money who are making allegations that can't be proven from 40 years ago, you can't act like it's true just because they said it. You can't act on it as if it happened. That's just, those are white woman rules. I'm just gonna tell you, those are white women. Those rules would never apply for black. Think about this. Y'all have 400 years of documented slavery, rapes, castrations, land being stolen all around the world. The Meghan Markle married the little white boy over in England because his family got all their billions in wealth from stealing land from black people and wealth from black people. And you literally can't go get any of that back, even though you have documentation and proof of all these things that were done to you, all these things that were taken from you. Some of y'all got grandparents who are like, yeah, back in 1945, they shot my uncle in the head and took his farm. Like, you got documentation of this, proof of this, and they're doing nothing on this, right? So my point is to say that, you know, it's fascinating how the rules change when you talk about black people versus non-black people. That's what I'm saying. So anyway,